We know the truth, and we know everything that happened.
How do we know what we know?
It's emotionally unsatisfying not to have that answer.
So it is, even if we've seen something, or if we think we have. And that's the question at the heart of the whole puzzle. Is this woman right?
I know what I saw, and I know the conclusion of my story.
Of course she does. Of course she does. So why does this other woman think this?
She didn't know for sure what she saw.
The question, we say, on which all the rest will turn. Why don't we begin here? Calamasa, California, Riverside County, historic Missions, sprawling suburbs creeping out to the rim of mountains round the eastern flank of Los Angeles. Here is where Chris and Christy Hall had come to live out their golden years, though they were far from old when it happened, just experienced with life and each other.
As far back as I can remember, it's always been Chris and Christy. They were never thought of as separate. They were a unit.
These are their three daughters. Courtney, the eldest, is a teacher. Brianna, a personal trainer. And Ashton, the youngest, here just returned from playing professional volleyball in Europe. And all of them, of course, have heard scores of times the story of how their parents met. It was 1978. Christy had gone to see a relative at the Air Force Base in nearby San Bernardino, and quite by chance, while she was there, encountered a security guard who, to her at least, looked just like Elvis. It was Blair Christopher Hall, Chris to his friends.
Apparently she was a little flirty at the gate.
In short order, Chris and Christy got married. She was 17, he 20. And as the girls grew up, they said they never doubted for a single moment the powerful bond of love, their parents with them and with each other.
I venture to say we're probably closer with our parents than most children. They're the parents that I hope to one day be.
Christy, the vivacious glue of the family. Chris, her perfect mirror.
My dad's a little more kick back, relaxed, and quiet, but they were a perfect balance, I think.
For years, Chris Hall was a police officer in San Bernardino until he was shot in the line of duty. And then he went off to become police chief in 2 small towns in Idaho. And then in 2005, anticipating an empty nest and eventual retirement, the Halls bought this place back in Calamasa, which they loved for its backyard pool and spa. And life in the spring of 2007 seemed to have hit a sweet spot, as Ashton and Brianna remember their mother telling them.
We happened to be laying on the bed with her. She just started talking. She was like, I'm so happy that I have you girls and Dad.
It was kind of one of those conversations that you don't have every day.
Still, there was work to be done. It was not a new house, could use some remodeling, particularly the bathroom. Courtney was still living with her parents as the work began.
But they were going to be doing the tile work and stuff, so we wouldn't have a shower for that day.
So, shower out of commission, they decided to wake up early, put on their bathing suits, and rinse off in the outdoor spa before the contractor arrived at 6:45 a.m. It was June 7th, 2007. Chris got up first, turned on the spa to warm it up, and then called Brianna at her college dorm in San Diego.
Here's your wake-up call, babe. Get out and go on that run.
Back at the house, Courtney dozed through her first wake-up, while Chris and Christy made their way outside to the spa. Just after 6:30, Chris looked in on Courtney again, second call, then headed back to the spa. Life's last normal moments. 6:37 a.m.
I got up out of bed, and I was putting on my robe, and I just heard this panicked scream from my dad yelling for me. I ran down the hallway to the back porch, and I saw him just trying to pull out my mom out of the spa.
It was she who dialed 911 as she and her father struggled to lift her mother out of the spa.
It was the first moments of the worst day of our lives.
Is it possible for people to understand what it's like to be in that situation?
I don't think so. It's to see just both your parents in the worst times that you've ever seen them. Obviously, my mom unconscious, and my dad just panicked, and for the first time in my life, seeing him just that way, not knowing what to do.
Because he was a cop. He was used to dealing with those kinds of things.
He's a cop used to dealing with those kinds of things with people that weren't not his wife.
So Courtney took charge. After calling 911, she started CPR on her mother with her father. EMT and firefighter Eric Norwood was the first to respond.
He just started, help my wife, oh my God, help my wife, help my wife.
Chris Hall was kneeling at his wife's side, more in the way than anything, and so hysterical it was hard for the EMTs to help.
It took us a little bit to get him out of the way.
He didn't want to leave her. He was just holding her hand, yelling her name.
The paramedics worked on Christy for more than 20 minutes. No vital signs. None.
And no words to describe just the fear and the anxiety.
You're losing your mother. And you're
Right.
watching her go right in front of you.
We tried to save her together, and we just couldn't.
The ambulance rushed her off to the hospital, where she was declared dead. She had drowned in the family spa. A private family tragedy. Except, maybe not so private after all. Someone was watching.